Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be replacing the stabilizer links on our beloved Ford Flex. You're going to need a stabilizer link. There's one for each side, different part numbers. You're going to need an upper and a lower stabilizer link nut if you choose to replace them. I always replace hardware. You can if you want. These four nuts combined was $15. These were $30 from Rock Auto and they're $30 on Tosca, but Rock Auto had cheaper shipping. The size of this nut is 21 millimeter, and the size of this part of the stabilizer link is 10 millimeter. You can also use an impact with a size 19 socket to take your tires off. You're also going to need a jack and jack stands because you are lifting this up, unless you're special enough to have a lift. Yeah, I don't have a lift or a garage. So what do you say we get into this, because I am quickly running out of daylight. I think right about now it would have been nice had I actually had those mats from Harbor Freight. So right here is the lower nut. And as you can see, there's not much room to put a socket in here. I have deep sockets, so maybe if you had shallow, it might fit, but I don't have shallow. So the trick that I did, and this is probably going to be your most complicated part of this job, especially if these are really rusted on it, is I put my 21 millimeter wrench like this, and I did the old mechanics hack, wedge them together like that. That's what I did to break the torque of this bolt. And then I gotta fight to undo this whole thing. Hey, that works. As the plane goes by. Okay. So let's see if I can get you a little closer that's not so much in my way. Alright. And my light keeps dying, which tells me my battery's about dead on this. Anyway, so now we just loosen this bolt down, or loosen it. And this is going to be the tedious part. Uh-oh, now it's spinning. So you need the 10 millimeter right here to hold it. And as you can see, there's not much room to work inside this thing. Oh. So you get one move in the wrench, and then you have to turn the wrench over, as you guys can see. And it's going to be like this until you unthread this whole damn nut. This is where you have to ask yourself, is it worth doing it in your driveway, like I'm doing it, or is it worth paying somebody $80 an hour, like an independent mechanic, and let them deal with it? Unless you have a ratcheting 21 millimeter wrench, which I don't have one of those, so. And it gets to the end, and you should be just knock my light out. That's what my day feels like sometimes. And then we should be able to turn this by hand, or not. Okay, maybe not, maybe nay. Nope, I gotta keep going. Damn thing. Oh, look at that. And she comes off. Easy peasy. That had some corrosion at the bottom of that. Look at that. And that nylon locking ring that's right here, focus. That's why you want to buy new hardware. We're also going to take note of the stabilizer orientation so we know how to put our new one in. The manual doesn't say, this print that you see right here on my thumbs at, the manual doesn't say if this goes up or down, so it must be universal. Just make sure you have the right part number on the right side. Alright, now we're going to do this top one. And this one's pretty easy. Make yourself some room. 22 millimeter socket. 21 millimeter socket, not 22, 21. Cover your ears here. Oh. We can use the impact to break the nut loose. And it's just gonna spin. Then you can use your wrenches to spin the nut loose the rest of the way. Just make sure you have some room. I would think by now those mats from Harbor Freight would come in handy because these rocks up my ass is really getting on my nerves. So we just use the 10 millimeter to hold it. 21 millimeters is the size of the nut. And then we crank it loose. As I've said before, if you have a ratcheting wrench with a ratchet right here, I would probably go that route. But I'm too poor for that. Not that these Milwaukee wrenches were not exactly cheap, but I digress. So now we just spin this out. Come on. Come on. A word of note is sometimes this nylon ring, it breaks. And when you try to take the nut off, the ring just spins. It doesn't allow the nut to actually come off. In that instance, you might have to get a blowtorch and melt this ring out, and then the nut should come off. Thankfully, mine's been apart before, so mine came off easily. Well, I don't know how you consider easy, but and this just comes out like so. There we have the old and the new, and as you can see right here, I can freely move this. The new one, I can't. I will have part numbers, these part numbers, I will have them in the description down below, along with the torque spec, which for the top and the bottom is 111 foot-pounds. Now, I don't know about you guys. Up here, maybe 100 pounds is easy, but down here, or 111, but down here, where you have limited space, I don't see how you're going to do 111 foot-pounds. I just don't. You would think my dumb ass would have took this plastic piece off, but apparently, I didn't think that far ahead. So, on the passenger side, you have a white paint mark right here. On the driver's side, both the old and the new had a blue paint mark. And the blue paint mark was at the top. So on the passenger side, this one has a white paint mark. The old one does not have a paint mark, even if I flip it up. And if it did, it probably wore off. But I'm going to follow the same as the driver's side. We're going to put the paint white mark up at the top, which starts this whole process all over again. And if you're like me, this is going to be a bitch to do. Because as you thread, listen here, you little bit. Really? Okay. Okay, come on. You know, being a mechanic in your own car, you definitely learn a lot of vocabulary that you wouldn't probably otherwise use. You bitch. Okay. I never knew finding the hole would be this complicated. There we go. Come on, you little bit. Get in there. Okay. Come on. Ouch. Alright, so I'm going to start with the bottom one first. You don't want to cross thread these nuts. You damn sure don't want to do that. So this is the one that goes on the bottom. I'm going to start there, torque it on, or screw it on and torque it down. The torque is 111 foot-pounds. It's going to be the same kind of process that I used to remove the old one with the 2-wrench trick, trying to get it to work. If you have shallow wrenches or shallow sockets, you probably have enough room to get a ratchet in here. Come on, you little bastard. Why don't you get to where I want you to go? There you go. Be good for me. Come on. You already made me bleed, you bitch. Oh, now here we go. Okay. Okay, I need my wrench, which is all over here. Wrench, all the way over here. Work on your own car, they said. It'll be fun, it'll be easy, and you will save so much money. What the f were they thinking? Okay. And then we just do this process. You probably can't see, and I'm not really moving the camera, but it's going to be the same process as I took it off. You get one turn, flip the wrench, rotate again. Flip the wrench, rinse and repeat. Continuously. Now listen. You want to make sure this damn thing goes on there straight. And our final product looks like that shiny bolt right here where the end is. Okay, with the bottom one done and torqued, we got to do the top one as my light goes out. So we just carefully thread our new nut on. Carefully that we don't cross thread this. And this is where you can use an impact to drive the nut down, but you have to tighten it by hand. And that's probably as far as it's going to go, simply because you don't want this to keep spinning. You might ruin your your joint that's right there. So this is another tedious process of wrench and hold. So this is the process that you're going to be working in. This is going to be the most annoying job that I've done. It's the easiest job, I'll give it that. But it's definitely the most annoying job. My arm is getting tired. Well, I guess this would count as working out, right? But if I wanted to do a one-arm workout, well, I wouldn't be doing it this way. Okay. And then, you kind of don't want to ruin my ABS wire that's right there. So we redo this. Okay. And that is pretty much it. Now I believe probably use your impact gun again and are we done? Are you gonna make up at all? Okay. Well, please excuse the crows or whatever the hell it is fighting in the background. This concludes our video of replacing the stabilizer links on our beloved Ford Flex. Which I found out that I have a bad lower ball joint over here now. I have to replace that. But I digress. If you liked the video, hit that button. If you didn't like it, well then you know what to do. And let me know in the comment section. Was it helpful? Did you enjoy it? Was it entertaining? My light went out, battery's dying. Or is there an easier technique that I don't know about that may be useful when I have to replace these damn things again? You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.